Welcome to Homestead Miami Speedway and the Ford 300 for this championship weekend, where in just a little bit we will crown a Nationwide Series champion. Everyone has them, moments, events, days that become defining. In 1 year, Elliot Sadler has gone from the edge of irrelevance to a contender. In 1 year, Stenhouse Jr. has gone from almost losing his ride to the consistent, mistake-free champion in the making. Whose defining moment will it be? We're about to find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the Special Operations Command South Color Guard present our nation's colors. Remain standing as Pastor Scott Clinch of Calvary Chapel, Kendall offers today's invocation.
Let's pray, Homestead. Father God, we thank you so much for those who fight the good fight around the world. We know that our freedom is not free. It comes at a price, and we thank you for those who serve and sacrifice. And God, we thank you for all those who will run this great race today and bring their talents and abilities to the track. And pray that you would give them a safe race, and that we as fans and family and friends would just have a great day together. And finally, we thank you for the love that you have shown us in your Son, Jesus. And we pray in his name, amen.
To honor America and our troops, place your right hand over your heart as 10-year-old singing sensation Julia Dale performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars the road of perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that her flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of liberty and the home of the brave.
When we come back, 200 laps, 300 miles, and at the end of it all, one driver will become a champion. Do not go anywhere. 10 months after it all began in one Florida town, the NASCAR season is bookended in another Florida town. Homestead Miami Speedway is NASCAR's championship track, and on Sunday, two men will duke it out. It's Tony Stewart versus Carl Edwards of Roush Fenway Racing, the organization that's trying to do what no other team has done before, win both the Sprint Cup and Nationwide Series titles in the same season. One champion was clinched on Friday in the Truck Series. Who will join Austin Dillon at the end of this day? It's championship weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway as the proud host. Just under 10 minutes to the green flag of this final race of the season, and as we go upstairs to Marty Reed, Daryl Jarrett, and Andy Petrie, it's time to hand out the big trophy. Trophy number 2 of this weekend.
And we should start off, Nicole, as congratulating Austin Dillon. The 21-year-old will be joining us on the Nationwide Series full-time next year. He'll be driving the number 3 for his grandfather, Richard Childress. Guys, let's talk now about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the verge, 37th or better, and he clinches the championship. And when you look at the last few races, It's the story that really tells how consistently good this number 6 car and this team has been.
Yeah, and I think even more than his 2 victories, that this is the most impressive thing about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is the way that he's handled the pressure. It was applied by Elliot Sadler, but he has stood up to those pressures, leading laps, consistently keeping himself inside the top 5 and top 10. And I think that he did his best driving when it really came down to crunch time, and he knew he was battling for this championship.
Yeah, that pressure came from Elliot Sadler and that Kevin Harvick team. They ran really well down to the end of this thing, and they put pressure on Ricky, and he drove that car to the limit. I mean, right to the limit every race, and he's, you know, put himself in position to win this championship, and he's proven to be very capable of that.
And now a championship that is definitely going to go down to possibly the last corner or the last lap, and that's the owner's title. And we probably should rename this the team championship. The 18 of Joe Gibbs has won this the last 3 years. They lead by 1 point over the 60 car of Jack Roush. Of course, Carl Edwards behind the wheel of that machine. And Andy, you know more than anybody in this booth how important this is to these teams.
Yeah, it is. It's a team championship. These guys that are on the team, they have different drivers on the 18, and Carl is not eligible for nationwide points. But that team is, to measure their success, they have got that team championship. That owner's name will be on the trophy, but that team is the one that will take all of the pride in this, and they're going for it. Joe Gibbs Racing has their names on the side of that trailer of all the owners' titles that they've won. They want to put another one on there.
Yeah, and these drivers want to make sure they do their part, because those guys that work extremely hard back at the shop and here at the racetrack that provide these cars for them, they want to make sure they bring that title to them.
Denny Hamlin behind the wheel of the number 18. Carl Edwards behind the wheel of the number 60. Who's going to win this final race? Well, let's find out as we go trackside to get it started.
Race fans, it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome today's Grand Marshal, WWE Hall of Famer, Sergeant Slaughter.
On behalf of everybody at the WWE and WrestleMania 28, here's the orders you've been waiting for. Attention drivers, start your engine! Catch on.
The engines have fired on the 43 cars that have made the field. 6 did not. And did you notice on that one camera shot, the sun is setting right as you head into turn number 1. It's going to be treacherous for the first half hour or so of this race. When we come back, we'll talk to the man in the number 6 on the verge of his first championship. It's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Well, it's been a big year for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and the 2 biggest days were at Iowa back in May when he picked up his first ever Nationwide Series win. And then when we made the return trip, he and Carl had a little rubbing, and racing right up to the finish, he blows the engine, and then Carl pushes him across the finish line as he jacked him up. But he didn't care because he took home the checkered flag. As we bring in the starting field across the top of your screen, Brad Keselowski will be on pole, his first pole of the year. And starting in that number 4 spot will be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And all he has to do is finish 37th or better to clinch his first ever Nationwide Series title. He's our in-race reporter. Let's talk to him, DJ.
Hey, Ricky, Dale Jarrett, ESPN. You have a copy?
Yes, sir, Dale. I got you.
All right, Ricky, thanks for talking with us today. Our first question comes from our mailbag. Jeremy in Rindge, New Hampshire asked, what has this week been like knowing you're on the verge of your first Nationwide Series championship?
Man, it's been crazy. We've had a lot of media to do, which is fun. Keeps me busy. You know, like I told everybody, getting in this race car is not my biggest problem. I feel really comfortable when you get in here. These guys have worked really hard. Ford Championship weekend, and can't think of a better place to end it.
Hey, Ricky, I know I'm not telling you anything when I say that the fastest way around here most of the time is up there pretty close to the wall, which means you have to run this thing on the edge most of the time. But then again, come to think of it, that's kind of how you got yourself in this position to win the championship, right?
Yes, sir, 10-4. I think that's why this is one of my favorite racetracks. Last year was the first year here, and I had a blast. So once the racetrack ran in practice, we got to slip and slide up next to the wall. That's when I really started enjoying it, really started getting fast. So that's what we're looking for tonight.
All right, Ricky, well, congrats on a great season. Good luck here this afternoon as we go into the evening now. Andy's going to talk to your crew chief, Mike Kelly.
10-4, thank you, Dale.
Hey, Mike Kelly, Andy Petrie in the booth. You have us?
10-4, Andy, got you loud and clear.
Hey, Mike, I know you got a lot on the line here tonight, but what point do you turn Ricky loose and let him go out here and try to win this thing so you don't have to share that spotlight with anybody when it's over?
Well, I've talked to Joe Balish, and they said they'll let me know 100% for sure when the championship's ours in the bags, and then I get to do something fun I've waited for a long time, all years, and turn Ricky Stenhouse loose, pull the pin, and see what happens.
Well, good luck, Mike. You guys have done a great job this year, and good luck finishing it off tonight. Thanks for talking to us.
All right, Andy, we appreciate you and all ESPN does for us each and every week. Without you guys, we couldn't get to do what we do.
Thank you, Mike. Wish you well today. Onboard cameras, you know we've got one with Ricky, also with Elliot Sadler, he's in the front row, Danica Patrick, Trevor Bayne, Justin Allgaier, Clint Boyer, Carl Edwards, and Stephen Wallace. Let's get the last-minute update from pit road. Dave Burns, you're up.
After Ricky Stenhouse won his first race in May, crew chief Mike Kelly told me we all agreed. We looked around and said he is so good that we'll be sitting around late in life talking about how we were with Ricky Stenhouse when he won his first NASCAR race. I have a feeling they'll be doing the same thing after he possibly wins his first NASCAR championship today. Dr. Jerry Punch?
When Elliot Sadler returned full-time to the Nationwide Series this year, his goals were to A, win a race, and B, make it to the finale here at Homestead, Miami with a chance to win a championship. Well, those championship hopes went away last week with a wreck at Phoenix, and all he's got left now is to win the race. And what he said, how am I going to do it? He said, well, remember that pass years ago by Doug Flutie, the so-called miracle in Miami? Today, I'm going to throw a Hail Mary every single lap until the checkered flag waves. That's how I'm going to win it. Jamie Lilly.
And Denny Hamlin pulling triple duty this weekend. He is back behind the wheel of the number 18 Nationwide Series car. Their goal for today, stay ahead of the 60. And at the end of the day, bring home their 4th consecutive Owner Points Championship. They come into Homestead with a slim 1-point advantage over the 60. Vince Welch.
Well, for Roush Fenway's Nationwide Series program, there have been 4 major goals this season. Take care and win the manufacturer's title. They've done that. Get Trevor Bayne to victory lane. That happened a couple of weeks ago. Win the driver's title. Ricky Stenhouse with an opportunity to close that out today. And secure the owner's championship. The 60 team is just 1 point away from that goal. So 2 down, 2 to go. This is a big race today as Roush Fenway looks to complete that sweep here at Homestead, Marty.
All right, thank you, Vince. Our over-the-wall reporter is Mark Hollywood Armstrong. He's the front tire changer on that number 66, Stephen Wallace's car. You know, Mark, we talk about Ricky Stenhouse, Mike Kelly. I know there's a group on that 6 car you want to talk about.
There's 2 groups down here. There's the pit crew that started the year with. They chalked up a couple of wins and put him in position to run for a championship. But with the depth and the resources at Roush Fenway Racing, they felt like they had a crew that they could slide in here and help finish it out. And that group was the number 6 Cup crew. So you'll see those guys here tonight pitting that car, but they all agree on one thing. I talked to them, and they said, hey, if we win this championship, we're all going to be champions. Guys.
All right, you be safe down there, Hollywood. Let's check our Goodyear track facts because the progressive banking is one of the big stories here, DJ.
Yes, what makes this place really exciting. You can run right down to the white line or all the way up next to the wall. We'll see everything happening from the bottom to the top.
And you notice we have a competition caution called by NASCAR on lap number 35. That's because of the lack of practice yesterday on the rain situation that we had. So we'll get ready to go green. The 6 cars that did not make the field: Jeff Green, Jake Crum, TJ Bell, Mark Green, Jennifer Jo Cobb, and Johnny Chapman. 2 cars go to the rear. The 42 is Scott Speed for missing the drivers meeting, and the 03 is Scott Riggs. He missed driver intros. Our pole sitter, Brad Keselowski, has decided to take the outside. And no surprise there, right, DJ?
No, I don't think it's a surprise at all. I think we'll see that all night long.
So the pace car pulls off. And gosh, it just seems like yesterday we were starting the 2011 season, but right now they come down to the final race, and the Ford 300 of Ford Championship Weekend is green. Elliot Sadler gets a good start on that low side, takes the early lead.
Yeah, that might change some people's minds as we get through this, thinking that high line might not be the very best.
Well, it may not be the best right now with the tires in good shape and the track still in good shape, but after they put some laps on them, I expect to see all these cars running up against the wall.
Carl Edwards in that 5th position, sliding into line. He will start on pole tomorrow for the championship in the Sprint Cup. And 15th will be where Tony Stewart starts. You saw the 3 wide there for a moment. You can do that here with this progressive banking. That's Sam Hornish and Danica Patrick side by side. Already we got one car with a bit of trouble, the 89. That is Morgan Shepherd.
And a car in the wall.
And we got a car in the wall in turn number 3 as we come down by the stripe, and the caution is out, and the 39 of Fane Skinner has bent it up on the right front corner.
Guys. We got a second. I don't know if he got in some oil, maybe that Morgan Shepherd dropped, but Morgan had a problem there. Looks like an engine.
Yeah, remember Morgan had problems last week at Phoenix. Wasn't sure he was going to make it. Tony Stewart helped him out.
Yeah, he sure did. With everything Tony Stewart has going on, trying to win a Cup championship, he thought about helping Morgan Shepherd. He was buying the tires for Morgan this week.
So Fane Skinner, you can see all the damage on that car. His fourth start this year. His best finish was back at Dover when he finished 23rd. Let's go back and see what happened to the 39 high side.
Yeah, looks like he might have got a little help right there from behind. Looks like somebody else with some damage there.
That's Jeremy Clements?
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
We're hearing it might be Eric McClure, the 14 car.
Yeah, that's who it is, I believe.
And there is Eric. So we're under our first caution here very early in this 200-lap event, and you can see the damage on the left front corner panel of the number 14. So we'll step aside. They're going to be working on that 39. I'm not sure that they're going to make it back here at the Ford 300 at Homestead Miami Speedway. Back here at Homestead Miami Speedway at the Ford 300, and we are in our third caution. This one, the mandatory from NASCAR, and bad news for Elliot Sadler and his fans. Here's what happened on pit road. Watch the right rear tire.
Everything seems to be going smooth. They're coming around to the left side. You see the official. He immediately goes to the right rear and says one lug nut missing, and you have to put it back on before you leave, or you have to come back.
He went out second, came in second. The missing lug nut, the 6th time they've had a pit road penalty this year. He will restart in 32nd position.
Ouch.
Yeah, that hurts. All right, pace car is off. Let's reset it. Brad Keselowski, and he's going to take the low line this time. Carl Edwards right alongside. Then Boyer and Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Brian Scott. That's your top 6. Green flag. We're racing again. Whoa, look at this. We're going to try 3 wide in the middle of the field.
And at the front.
And at the front, you're right. That's Carl in the middle. And Keselowski gets a nice jump. There's Joey Logano sliding up. Now let's go 3 wide, even deeper back in the field.
You see Denny Hamlin trying to pass Carl Edwards. He's been running the bottom of the racetrack most of the race. He's kind of forced up high here.
Talked to Denny's crew chief, Jason Radcliffe, the man who's in charge of that 18 car. I started to say, what's the goal today? And he interrupted me. He said, win the race. And he reiterated it 3 times. He knows I was asking him about the championship. Would he just race against Carl? And he said, no, we're going to win this race.
See, Stenhouse has tried to make a move into turn 3 on the 18 of Denny Hamlin. Didn't do that. Almost lost a spot to Brian Scott, but regains that now.
Carl Edwards in the 60 underneath Clint Boyer. That is for second on the track. He's got a nose ahead of him.
Yeah, but here comes Boyer back on the outside.
Notice how many cars are going down low here through 3 and 4.
Well, as long as you got fresh tires, you can do that and make some pretty good time. But as this goes on, you won't be able to do that as much. So they're trying to make as much as they possibly can while they still have that grip with the new tires.
Boyer trying for the race lead as they come out of turn number 2. And man, that 22 just comes off that corner so nice.
Andy was right. He's got some power under the hood of that Dodge today.
Well, that was a smooth move by Edwards.
Not going to work.
He just can't carry the momentum, though. Has to back out of it or he'll slid up into it.
That was a heads-up move by Clint Boyer to give him room right at the last second.
I know, a heads up. He was dodging him, I think. He saw he was in trouble.
And here comes the 18 of Denny Hamlin trying to take advantage of this. That's your owner's championship side by side. And the other thing that's interesting, how much of this is Carl experimenting for tomorrow, guys?
I don't think there's any doubt it's what he's doing that. See just how far he can push the issue. Getting down in the corner, maybe pulling a slide job. How loose is it going to get? How much do the seams upset the car out there? He's learning a lot here.
I talked to Mike Deem earlier today, and he said that they set this car up very similar to the way they set the Cup car up, even though the setups are a little different as far as bump stops and coil binding. But that's just to help Carl to have that feel that he's looking for, so it's not so different when he gets in and out of this car and in his Cup car.
Well, I'm impressed with this 18 being able to stay down there and not lose time. He's actually going to, didn't quite get up in front of Carl. This 18 car's looking pretty good so far, Jamie.
Absolutely. Must be battling for a championship, right? Well, Denny Hamlin, remember, he wasn't supposed to be in this race car. It was supposed to be Kyle Busch up until 2 weeks ago, following that incident at Texas where Kyle Busch was parked. It was Coach Gibbs who made the call to put Denny Hamlin in this race car. And keep in mind, the 18 and the 60 each have 8 wins, so it will go by second-place finishes. The 60 has the advantage. The only way to win is for 18 to get ahead.
Well, you mentioned Joe Gibbs. He celebrates his 71st birthday next Friday, and Denny Hamlin celebrated his 31st birthday just yesterday. As you can see, as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Whoa, he gets a little loose coming out of the corner, and it opens the door for Hamlin to come right back.
We got racing all over this racetrack. I mean, up front, you got the leaders. They were side by side off that corner, and here goes Hamlin now taking the spot, trying to take the spot from Stenhouse.
That is for 4th on the racetrack. There you see the top 4 in front of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who's running in 5th. All right, these guys look like they've settled down for a moment. Give us a chance to step aside with Brad Keselowski. He's now led a total of 37 of the 45 laps we've completed at the Ford 300. Back here at the season finale at the Ford 300. We are a quarter of the way through this final race of the 2011 season. It is Brad Keselowski a half a second over Carl Edwards, Denny Hamlin 3rd, Clint Boyer 4th, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., our newly crowned champion. He has clinched, running in 5th, but he has got radio issues. What is going on, Dave Burns?
We talked about it earlier, Marty, where a key gets left open on the radio. This was the scene just after the restart.
People, you have to stay off the radios. I had no spotter until right now. Stay off the radios.
You see Mike Kelly march up to the top of the pit box. He is fit to be tied. Since then, a lot of people have turned theirs completely off, and I don't even know if we ever did find the offender.
So issues continue. Andy, you can speak better to that.
Yeah, one thing that can happen is somebody can be sitting on a radio that inadvertently keys the mic, and then it just blocks the radio channel completely, and he can't hear the spotter. That could be a real issue for him.
And we saw Ricky almost slide up into Denny Hamlin a few laps back.
Yeah, and as much as anything, that sound is just terrible for the drive. I mean, you get it where that's what he's hearing too a lot of time, but you can't hear the spotter, and that's big problems here because you rely on getting off the corners, especially with so many people running the high line.
On board with Trevor Bayne, as he is running in that 7th position right now. Eric Almirola right in front of him, and then right behind him is Justin Allgaier running in 8th. Remember, we told you about Elliot Sadler, as he restarted 32nd after having a missing lug nut on that last pit stop. Well, he took 6 laps to get into the top 15, and look at this. He is now running in 12th, guys. Doc, can you give us an update on that too?
Well, I told you at the beginning of the show, Elliot Sadler said, I know I probably can't win a championship, so I'm going to do whatever I can to win a race. Remember the Hail Marys? He had a Hail Mary when they waved the green flag to take the lead. And now he is up 20 positions. Make that 21 positions. He now moves into 11th spot, restarting 32nd. That was 14 laps ago. I think the Doug Flutie imitation, the Hail Marys are working. He's on his way to the front, guys.
Well, that last guy he passed was Jason Leffler, and Leffler gave him plenty of room. And I talked to Leffler. He still feels bad about getting into and ruining last week's race for Elliot Sadler.
Yeah, this run, that Hail Mary is coming from his own goal line, having to start so far back.
Nice little battle shaping up right there with those 3 cars. As you see the 18 of Denny Hamlin, the 33 of Clint Boyer, and on board with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. That's 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
It's really been fun to watch these 3 as they've gone about getting around this racetrack a little bit differently. You see Denny Hamlin up there right on the bottom. Then you have Stenhouse in the middle and Clint Boyer sliding his around the top.
Well, the good news is the sun will no longer be a factor, as it is now past 5:30 and looking very good as you head down into turn number 1 with no glare, as the lights have come on here at Homestead Miami Speedway, and see just how sun angle is.
Yeah, I think that was a little looser than Boyer wanted to be, and so he let Ricky Stenhouse go there. He needs somebody on his bumper. Already a loose race car.
Meanwhile, as you got the 6 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. still putting some pressure on Denny Hamlin. That is for third position on the racetrack. Everybody's chasing Brad Keselowski. Carl Edwards has closed that gap down from 0.4 of a second.
Whoa, look at Keselowski getting real loose through the corner there.
There is second place Edwards right behind him.
Yeah, and your tendency as a driver, when your car starts to get loose, it's hard to make that wide arc and stay up high. But a lot of times you go down here and you actually make the problem even worse. So we'll see if Brad's able to keep the lead. And here comes Stenhouse for that third spot.
They're on board with Ricky as they come down the front straightaway.
Like he's going to get it here.
He's got the line, and so far so good. If he can hold the momentum through the corner, and yes, he's going to take the spot away. So move Stenhouse into the third position. So as it stands right now, Carl Edwards now leads the Owners' Championship hunt by 1 because he's running in second place. Denny Hamlin is running 4th. And right now, Carl says, I'd like to take over the top spot, but Keselowski's saying no.
You can see how that camera buffets from that drafting, that dirty air behind Brad Keselowski. You see Keselowski still really, really loose.
Yeah, you can see Carl kind of stayed in his tracks right there, and even not being any closer than that, you can make that car loose in front of you. See if he makes it work here.
Carl has not yet led at the stripe. We've had 3 different leaders. Keselowski's led 51 laps. Sadler led 7. Clint Boyer has led 1. But here comes Carl as he does clear the 22. As he looks like he'll be leading this one. So we'll have our 4th different leader with our 5th lead change here at Homestead Miami Speedway at the Ford 300. There's your top 5.
And now you see Carl Edwards has the advantage up top with the momentum.
So it looks like it has settled down again, so we'll step aside for a quick break here as we're working lap number 61 of 200. Welcome back to the Ford 300 here at Homestead Miami Speedway, and make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. Beautiful view from high above as we look down on the action here as we're working lap number 82 of 200, getting ready for some green flag pit stops. Our race leader is Carl Edwards over Brad Keselowski by 2 seconds. Trevor Bayne has moved ahead of Ricky Stenhouse for 3rd, and behind Stenhouse, rounding out the top 5, is Denny Hamlin. And you can see that Carl is in some lap traffic now as he is working his way around the 32 of James Busher.
It doesn't halt his progress very much, though. He liked when he got this 60 car out and some clean air in front of Brad Keselowski. Consistently been a 10th, 2/10 quicker a lap.
Busher's running in 22nd spot. That's Robert Richardson Jr. right in front of him in the 23. He's in 21st position. There's Keselowski now 1.9 seconds behind the race lead of Carl Edwards. And early in this race, it was Brad who was running away from the field. And there you see Trevor Bayne, the 6 of Ricky Stenhouse, and the 18 of Denny Hamlin. Behind them in 6th is Clint Boyer and Eric Almirola. Sam Hornish is 8th, Elliot Sadler 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Brian Scott. Let's get an update on that 16 car from Vince Welch.
Boy, and Trevor Bayne has been consistently the fastest car lap after lap over the course of the last 15 laps. Coming into a little bit of traffic occasionally, but then he gets right back in the groove, hits his marks, and gets right back after it. The car has been really good. He's got 5 straight top 10s, looking to add to that here today. Minor adjustment on that first pit stop. Dave Burns.
Vince, update on the 6 car running 4th right now. Ricky Stenhouse, the radio, they've gone to channel 2, and it has been clear. He demanded they go to channel 2, and it's worked out for him. I checked with Mike Kelly just a few laps ago. Have you turned him loose, was my question to Mike. He said no, because I haven't been told officially that we are the champions. However, he does have NASCAR timing and scoring up there, and every time a car is officially listed out, it becomes a little black box instead of a running order number. Mike can count them up and see that it goes all the way up until the 36 car is still running. Remember, they had to finish 37th or better, so in his mind, crew chief Mike Kelly knows they're good.
And our green flag pit stops have started, Dave. Jamie?
First taker of the evening under green flag condition, James Busher making his debut in the 32. He's usually in the 30 for Turner Motorsports. Good stop there. He said he was loose, and we're hearing that a lot. Now that the sun has gone down, these guys have gone from tight to loose. Marty?
All right, right, thanks, Jamie. So we'll keep our eye and we're working lap number 87. And there is Carl Edwards. His lead has been cut by 0.3 of a second. It's down to 1.6 seconds. Carl, if you mentioned, remember at the beginning of the broadcast when we said it was an advantage for him racing today, I think, Andy, you said it. You got a little text from somebody during the commercial break.
Yeah, I got a little note from Tony Stewart. I guess Andy kind of referenced maybe that Carl starting on the pole had given him an advantage. He said not to put Carl's name on that trophy too soon.
Oh, I wasn't one going to engrave it anyway. But you know, Tony, his recent success almost evens that playing field, even though we saw the numbers for Carl Edwards being really good on this new track. I wouldn't count Smoke out. I wasn't counting him out, I promise you.
I'm just glad Smoke's watching tonight. Hope he's enjoying the race. Carl's certainly enjoying it right now. A lead of 1.8 seconds.
Overall, yeah, you know, if you just had anything you thought would make it just have a little more grip, like tire pressure, tape, something like that, but the balance is pretty good.
I hate it when a driver says that. Wants more grip. Heck, if we could give you more grip, we'd have gave it to you already. You know.
Well, you're supposed to be in there thinking of ways that you can do that. You know that's going to be an issue.
I know, you never quit.
It's 4 laps, 4.
So you heard the call, 4 laps. He's going to be making his pit stop. As we're working lap number 89 of 200. Carl right now has led a total of 29 laps. Brad Keselowski's led the most at 51. Brad in second spot. Trevor Bayne, 4 seconds back, has not led yet tonight. Elliot Sadler and Clint Boyer, the other two that have led laps here in the season finale.
Yeah, I think Trevor Bayne might lead before this thing's over. This car is really fast. I've seen him pass a lot of cars and working his way up into this third spot. He is right against the wall, but making a lot of speed.
Of course, picked up his first nationwide win back at Texas. And the 38 of Jason Leffler is in, Vince.
Leffler says he's still just a little bit too tight, so they're going to make a 4 tire change, air pressure adjustment, also making a track bar adjustment. Says it's driving a little bit too much off the left rear. The 30 of Nelson Piquet Jr. coming to pit lane as well, making his second Nationwide Series start. They made a 4 tire change and an air pressure adjustment for Piquet. Marty?
Piquet will be driving full-time for Turner Motorsports in the Truck Series next year and a limited nationwide schedule. Jamie?
And Denny Hamlin, another one of those drivers. Oh, he slid through the box. He was tight early. Now he's saying, guys, I'm loose. I need to get better. You see that wedge adjustment in the right rear window. 4 tires. They'll fill them up with Sunoco fuel, trying to gain an advantage and trying to catch that 60 car. And that's been tough tonight. Marty?
Waiting on the fuel. So it looked like they were cleaning that front grill. They get back out 16.4 seconds, a little bit on the long side.
Yeah, they're just waiting on that fuel. The tire changes look to be done. Better wait just a little extra second or two on the fuel.
Carl Edwards still out on the track. Right now, Trevor Bayne has cycled into the second spot. Let's check in with Dr. Jerry Punch.
22 car Brad Keselowski says the car now is a little bit free from the center off. He said it was tight in the center and free on exit. Now it is much freer from center off. Air pressure change there. Now the 33 issue. The car up pit road is Clint Boyer, and he was saying the car is still tight. They've made adjustments. The car will not roll the center, will not turn. Very, very tight in the center of the corner off. Track bar and air pressure as well. Now here comes our leader, Carl Edwards, down pit road to reminded Carl, 45 miles an hour. Great way to gauge how fast he can go tomorrow in a Sprint Cup race. You heard him saying, I need some overall grip. They're doing it with air pressure only. The guy's yellow on the racetrack.
Caution has come out. You can see the smoke in the background there as the 67 of Andrew Ranger is slow on the apron right on the front stretch. You can see Andrew's car. So it is our 4th caution. And there you see the damage. Let's check in with Dave Burns on that 6-car pit stop.
He was on pit road when the caution came out. They put 4 fresh tires on, lowered the track bar, made an air pressure adjustment. He couldn't turn the car very well off of turn 4. That was Ricky's major complaint.
All right, thanks, David. So this is going to shake things up for a little bit, those that had yet to make their pit stops. But don't forget, we still have the wave around, and so we'll sort that all out. Let's go back and find out what happened to Andrew Ranger, the Quebec native.
This is see, looks like maybe he had a problem right there with the left rear tire or something snapped around on him.
And then he catches it right there. That's where he makes the damage on the wall on the front end. There's another look.
You can see the car bottom out, so it makes you wonder if you had a tire going down that created all of that. It fucked her up, but it sure did bottom out. When it does that, it'll snap around on you.
Tough break for the Go Canada Racing team. Steve Meehan, the owner, as he has put this effort from north of the border together. And Andrew Ranger, really a good road racer. We've seen him turn in some great performances. And now some of the rest of the guys that did not pit under the green flag situation are going to take advantage of this caution and bring it in. And Sam Hornish leads the way. And let's first check in with Vince Welch.
Michael Annett on pit road. Annett comes into this race 8th in points, the best career position for him, and the car's pretty good right now. Little bit tight, an air pressure adjustment and 4 tires. Jamie?
And Kenny Wallace, last race for him of the season. That's been a very good season for Kenny Wallace. You see him wipe the grill, 4 tires, and Sunoco fuel. Dave?
12 of Sam Hornish Jr. was loose. They make an air pressure adjustment for him. He had been running in the 8th position until that. The loose race car as well for Danica Patrick, especially in turns 3 and 4. She'll be on and off pit road as well, guys.
All right, so here's the way it shakes out. Remember Brad Keselowski pitted under the green? Well, he actually will be the recipient of the lucky dog. We'll have to wait and see how many may take the wave around. And you can see there's also a truck out there on the back stretch picking up one of the slower cars. That's Mike Conway's car. He is saying, come on, push me, I got to get back. Stay with us, we're coming back.
Approaching halfway at Homestead Miami Speedway, a 5-hour energy rapid recap. Going to get us caught up in what we've missed so far. A good luck message between teammates, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Carl Edwards. Of course, it is Stenhouse fighting for a championship, which he clinched on lap 30. A bit of a practice session, though, today for the guy in the 60 car, Carl Edwards, going for the championship tomorrow.
Yeah, he's flat flying. He's been leading a lot of laps out there, and he can almost just use today's race as a practice session for the big race tomorrow.
Going through his steps, going through his rhythms, getting ready for tomorrow.
Elliot Sadler trying to come into this last race of the season to get a win, but again, pit issues, his 6th pit road penalty of the season.
Yeah, pit crew makes a mistake and leaves a lug nut on the right rear off. He's got to come from the back of the pack. He's charging up to the front. He's flat flying. He's all the way up to 7th now, but back at 30th or something like that.
Impressive effort on his part, but how about Ricky Stenhouse Jr.? Lap 30, he clinched the title, but we're not quite sure he knows that yet.
Ricky. Yes, sir. And there are. No, just keep doing what you're doing.
It's pretty good quality, right?
You know what they were doing? They were going to tell him he got too many people on radios down here, Ricky. That's the problem.
Getting ready to go back to green flag. So, Marty, it's back to you.
And 16 wave around, 7 of those on the lead lap. Boyer, Hamlin, Scott, Allgaier, Leffler, Stremme, and Bliss. We're back to green with Edwards and Bain up front.
There's 18 cars on the lead lap now.
We go 3 wide through the corner. Somebody's got to give a little room, and it looks like they'll make it okay. That's Danica Patrick back there. She restarted in the 8th spot.
Trevor Bain, you see these Roush Fords all occupy those first 3 spots. Trevor Bain wants to lead a lap here tonight.
Well, you talk about these Roush Fords, all 3 cars finish in the top 10 in 11 races this season, including the last 5. And right now they're sweeping the podium. And we are just about to approach halfway. Trevor Bain sniffing another victory, perhaps, as he sticks his nose ahead of Carl, and the Carl says, excuse me, son, coming back. Oh, look out.
A little tight right there.
That's the 04 Casey Roderick. He's lap traffic.
I think Bain's going to get that lap led now. Now Stenhouse is going to want his chance at it.
So Trevor becomes our 6th different leader, our 8th lead change. And you're right, Stenhouse is going for the front.
Well, they're going to be good teammates, surely, and let Ricky lead a lap here, so he's got another spot to play with here for that championship. Not that he needs it.
The guy looking at all this is Sam Hornish. He's running in 4th there in that yellow number 12.
Watch out, watch out.
Don't wipe out the entire Ford camp.
Man, Jack Roush got to be nervous watching that.
Here comes Hornish as he's taking advantage of that. He's pulled right up on the back. On 5th place is Elliot Sadler. He's getting into this mix as well. Some great action here as we are at the halfway mark. All right, Dave Burns, you got a bit of a tough assignment. Give us an update on all three of those Roush Fenway cars.
Well, it really relates to them as a group, from crew chief Mike Kelly on the 6 car to his driver moments ago.
Remember about 6 weeks ago, we talked about a dream finish today. Get all three of you guys burning this front straightaway down. We'll keep working towards that.
Right after that, Mike called me over. Mike said, hey, have you guys heard anything official? I said, no, NASCAR hasn't told us anything official, but we counted up the black boxes. He looked at me and smiled, so he knows, but they still haven't told him officially.
I don't think his driver cares.
Yeah, right now he's just got
sure about it.
He's got the hammer job down, and let's go back and watch this move just a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, he tried to kind of dive bomb the corner here and was going to make a slide job. He thought maybe Trevor Bayne eased out of the throttle a little bit.
Woo. So now what is he going to do when they turn the loosen the reins up on him?
Yeah, he's really going to let it go here in a minute.
Well, they are still running 1, 2, 3 with Carl Edwards up front, Ricky Stenhouse, and then Trevor Bayne, although Trevor has slipped back a couple of car lengths. Elliot Sadler still running 4th, and Hornish running in the 5th spot. Remember, Brad Keselowski got the lucky dog. He came around. He's running in 6th. And there you see him in the back of the screen.
You can see Trevor Bayne right there kicking up sand in that high groove.
Yeah, that's that sand we talked about that blows across the racetrack here when the wind comes up. And surprisingly, now that the sun is down, I'm looking at the flag, and it is still straight out from turn 4 down to turn number 1.
Yeah, and you have to be just a little bit careful right there, because you get up a place that's wider and you get that right rear tire hung out in that, you'll be in trouble before you know it.
Brad Keselowski gets around Sam Hornish Jr., so move him up a spot, move him into the 5th position.
You can see Elliot Sadler's moved up there to 4th. He's wanting to break up this Roush dominance.
Golly, I still can't get over what the number of lines that they can run on this racetrack, and it makes it so exciting.
Yeah, and what a recovery by Elliot Sadler. They had that problem with the lug nut, went all the way back to 32nd. Didn't take him long to get back inside the top 5 here.
Right after the lap 35 mandatory caution is when that occurred, and here he is back inside the top 5. And if you were not with us at the beginning of the broadcast, he basically said there's only one thing that we want to do, and that's go home with a victory.
And that first run, that 2-car of Elliot Sadler's was fast. He seemed like he was making up ground on the leaders during that run before the competition caution came out. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him be able to catch Carl Edwards in this run.
Well, the number 2 of Elliot Sadler, the only driver right now in the top 6 without a win here in 2011. Maybe today's the day, but here we go with side-by-side action as we'll step aside with Carl Edwards in the lead. Tonight, most of you will see LaMichael James and the rejuvenated 4th-ranked Oregon Ducks host Matt Barkley at USC. Now, others will see 5th-ranked Oklahoma face a tough road test against Baylor. Oregon and Oklahoma need to win to stay in the title hunt. It's Saturday Night Football, and it's presented by Southwest Airlines at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. It's on ABC or ESPN3. And don't forget, college football lives here. We have 75 laps remaining here. Our race leader is Carl Edwards by 1.4 seconds over Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Trevor Bayne is running in 3rd, and you're saying, whoa, that's all 3 Roush Fenway cars. And no team has ever swept the top 3 spots in the Nationwide Series race. These guys are trying to do it. They've got some challenges, though. Elliot Sadler in 4th and Brad Keselowski in 5th. Let's get an update on that 16 car from Vince Welch.
Well, certainly Trevor Bayne is running well tonight, but there's been times throughout the course of the season where he's had a little tendency to constantly analyze the handling of the car, almost a little bit too much, as you see that battle 3 wide going through the turn. They've encouraged Bayne to simplify his communication, even sometimes just drive it.
Show us your muscle here, bud. We don't need to talk about it. Let's go here. You got the fastest thing here.
Crew Chief Chad Norris constantly reminding Trevor, just focus on the car, hit your marks. You've got a car that's fast enough to get it done.
And he was fastest that last lap, 33.7 seconds. Leader Carl Edwards at a 33.8. And there you see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. going around the lap vehicle, the 14 of Eric McClure. McClure in 28th spot. He is 3 laps down.
Yeah, it seems that Trevor Bayne is making his time, his fastest laps are when he can run right against the wall and doesn't have someone there. Makes it a little more difficult when he encounters traffic and has to go to the bottom, but I'd say most of the guys are in the same situation.
As you go on board, I would not suggest trying this on I-95, getting this close to the wall. It's the major highway here in South Florida, up the East Coast.
See, from that high lane, you can carry so many more RPMs to get to the straightaway. You're making some grip right up on that very, very outside edge of that groove.
Yeah, what I like watching Trevor is he enters the corner really high. And what that helps do is the car will be rotating and turning in the center, where you watch Ricky Stenhouse a little lower on the entrance. Well, not that time. Well, you could, but you see he goes down. Then he'll go up. So he's down a little. It looks like his car is a little bit tight, Ricky Stenhouse right in the center. And but you can see Trevor actually pick up a little bit right there.
And that's what the view looks like from outside, as we're a little deeper in the field. And as we check in on Team Penske, there is Brad Keselowski. He is running right in front of his teammate Sam Hornish Jr. They are 5th and 6th, and about 5.5 seconds behind the race leaders. And there's Clint Bowyer also in that mix right behind him.
Yeah, Boyer's got his car on the march here. He was back outside the top 10 just a little while ago, so he's been able to make some passes, but like he's been fighting a race car that was pretty loose some of the time and marching forward.
He had the 3rd fastest lap, that last lap, as they too are going around that 0-4 of Casey Roderick. 2nd place looks like it's going to change hands. Trevor Bayne looking to get around Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And here comes Ricky right back.
Well, that's the problem Trevor seems to be fighting, and everyone will. When you go down there and try to carry the speed, you get a little bit tight on exit of the corner.
You can see right there that Stenhouse has hit the wall with that right rear.
Yeah, that may have been how Trevor Bayne got around him to begin with.
Got into the wall.
Yep, there you heard him. Said check the right side. Here it is.
Yeah, and he was moving down just before we went to this replay. You can see right here, getting into the wall just a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty hard.
And the caution has come out as we're showing you that replay. Here's what it looked like on board from Trevor's view.
That's the risk of running that high lane. You just don't have any room for error up there.
We talked about it tomorrow, what Tony Stewart and Carl Edger will be facing. You know, it only takes a little bit of a slip. That's where you have to run.
All right, let's show you exactly the reason for the caution. That's the 41 of Stanton Barrett. He is 33rd right now, 3 laps down, and that's the reason.
Yeah, that's a little harder. And of course, us just showing you that's where everybody's running. Don't know what kind of debris might have come off of that car, been right in the groove.
And you can see the whole right side of the car with the damage there for Stanton.
Take it easy, save the quarter panel, just come straight down pit road. We'll worry about the penalty later.
And that's what he's doing, is he's on the access road making his way.
Yeah, they're saying just come on the pit road, let's get it fixed, and there'll be a penalty for pitting too soon. Don't worry about that right now.
So
they'd be a little late to save the quarter panel.
Maybe.
The timing was pretty good. We were about 10 laps away from having a next round of green flag pit stops. We have completed 132 of 200.
It's still outside of the window of being able to make it from here, though, so we'll see what the strategy is if it goes green from here.
Well, if you're Carl Edwards, do you want 2 or do you want 4?
4.
Okay.
4.
Yeah, I'd never even think about 2 on this slick racetrack. I'm sure somebody will prove me wrong.
Not this time.
Maybe that last stop.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're going to see not that many laps to go, depending on how far they can go. If they have another caution flag or it goes green, you'll see maybe a little strategy. But not on this one. They'll all take 4 here.
We'll wait to see how it all pans out as they make their way through turns 3 and 4 with Carl Edwards and his 1.6 second lead now evaporated. And pit road is open. Here they come. Let's send it down to Vince Welch first.
With Trevor Bayne, he says we're going in the right direction, but I'm still a little free in and a little tight center off. So they're going to make a 4-tire change, air pressure adjustment on the front tires, and going down on the track bar, also giving him a tear off to help that vision. Dave?
Lower left, Ricky Stenhouse. The car a little bit tight, but the main focus now, that damage on the right side, just above the right rear and the right front fender. They want to make sure they don't split that right front fender when they bend it a little. Doc?
Elliot Sadler, right upper corner, said the car needs a little bit of that right rear grip back, air pressure and track bar adjustment right rear. Now in front of him, Carl Edwards, we're not even going to think about 2 tires. Not taking any chances at all. No changes. 4 tires for Carl Edwards. Going to play it safe. He's got a cup title to win tomorrow, they said.
And he makes it easily off pit road first. As you see, everybody, as Andy predicted, took 4 tires. The big gainer, Denny Hamlin, he moves up 2 spots. Eric Almirola drops 2. So we'll reset the field, let you know who the lucky dog was. It was Robert Richardson Jr. We come back to the Ford 300. Welcome back to the Ford 300 here at Homestead Miami Speedway, and make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. Back here at the track with 65 laps to go, another penalty for Elliot Sadler. They've stubbed their toe for a second time. This time it is speeding on that very last segment. And Andy, it's tricky here. It's only 27 feet long.
That's the thing. You don't realize that this last timing segment is a very short segment. And so even if you're coming off late on pit road, you can still get caught speeding. You see, that's what happened to Elliot Sadler. He comes across that last line just a little too fast, thinking that he was free to go as fast as he could.
It was the one, which one, Ernie, leaving pit road? Yeah, between where the pit outline is and then the, the last line. Oh, well, I thought we said it wasn't one out there between my box and the line. I didn't know it was another one.
So on lap 35, he has a loose lug nut. Now, here with 65 to go, a speeding penalty.
Yeah, and this is going to put him back behind all the cars. You have to start the tail end of the longest line.
Took him 25 laps to go from 32nd to 10th earlier tonight. Here we go as we get ready to restart it. Pace car is down. It is Carl Edwards, Trevor Bayne up front, and Edwards has taken the inside line. Keselowski, Stenhouse, Boyer, and Hornish. That's your top 6. Great restart for Carl.
Yeah, you can see Trevor Bayne really struggling. He was spinning the tires there.
Ricky Stenhouse got a good restart. That's been one of his Achilles heels this year. He's running in that second spot, side by side. Clint Boyer trying to get ahead of Trevor, but now losing ground.
Well, Clint lost a lot of time on that ground around the green flag stops when the caution came out and had to take the wave around and go to the back. But now he's able to start up front with the rest of the fast cars and see if he can make it up to the front.
But he's getting past right now as we go on board. That's the 22 of Brad Keselowski, and here comes the 18 of Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, I've seen Hamlin run the bottom of the track most of the time, especially when he had fresh tires. But he was outside the top 10 that last run for quite a while.
And Hamlin knows he's got to get on his horse and get to the front because Edwards is leading this race, which also means he's leading in that owner's championship. On board with Clint.
And Edwards is also leading the most laps right now, so that's another point.
Come by the stripe. It's got Edwards, Stenhouse, Brad Keselowski, Bayne, and Boyer with Denny Hamlin. That's your top 6. And look at they are going side by side. Here comes the 18 up on Trevor Bayne.
Yeah, the restarts haven't been the best for Trevor Bayne here. It looks like it takes his car a little bit of time to come in. The new tires aren't exactly when he's at his best.
And Denny's gotten back down to the bottom where he's been feeding all night.
He's making it work, headed to the front.
Jamie, what are you hearing on that 18 car?
Very impressive pit stop for the 18 bunch. He said he was too loose, so he came in, and the rear tire changer, Jake Seminara, made the wedge adjustment, ran around to the left side, pushed his spring rubber in, and they got him out and gained him 2 positions. The car is better. Marty?
And we already mentioned, in fact, Jason Radcliffe, his only goal was to win this race. It's not worrying about where the 60 is. He wants to win it. They've still got some ground to cover. He's back in the top 5.
Well, if he's going to win it, he's going to have to pass that 60.
Man,
He'll know where he's at.
That's pretty impressive, that tire changer doing everything he was doing. And pushing a spring rubber in is much harder than pulling it out right now.
Yeah, it is. That was a really good job, and the car is better this time.
Elliot Sadler restarted 19th. Just to give you an update, he has worked his way back only to 17th right now. Still got a lot of lap vehicles in between him.
Real loose up there off turn 2.
Getting back to the main group. Here's our first real look at Danica Patrick tonight. She's been staying on the lead lap. She's running right now in the 15th position. And really, the guy who we haven't given enough credit is Tony Eury. Yesterday, she has talked about how much confidence she has in Tony Eury Jr. and the fact that she tells him what's happening, and he, as in her words, works his magic.
Yeah, he's done a great job with her, and I think that, that chemistry we always talk about, they have it, and I think it's going to carry on until next year. Dave, how's the race going so far tonight?
Well, it's not too bad, Andy, and Tony understands what it is that Danica knows she can't do yet, which is drive the loosest car in the world, which sometimes you need to do in order to drive these cars fast. So he works around that. It was a little bit too loose coming off of turn 4 during the last run, so they popped a spring rubber into the left rear spring, and so far she's been pretty quiet on the radio, meaning it's a little bit better. But she told me before the race, they kind of went back to where they started, and she knew, on the weekend that is, and she knew that would include some loose. She gets better at it each race.
Well, during the off-season, they're going to be working on short track program. Tony said that's going to be our main focus of testing. Now, one cute story. Today is Danica's 6th anniversary. She admitted she woke up this morning, looked at her husband, Paul, and said, "I'm sorry, honey, I forgot to get you a card." Guess she had her mind on the race. All right, let's check in back a little farther forward in the field, as we've got some good action going on there. There you see Joey Logano in that 9th spot, and his teammate in the 11, Brian Scott, right behind him with Justin Allgaier in that red 31, and then the 38 of Jason Leffler. That is all for position.
You can see once again just the different lines being utilized here, but certainly not a Logano type performance that we've come to expect. We expect to see him up in the top 5 battling for wins.
They almost had contact there as the 11 sort of slid up for a moment, but Scott recovered. No harm, no foul. And right behind this group is David Stremme. Stremme doing a fine job in that 70 car. He's running 13th. Left side of your screen, that is Clint Boyer and Denny Hamlin. That is for 4th on the racetrack, and we continue to focus on that battle for 10th on the right. Justin Allgaier trying to make a move on Brian Scott on the right side. Can't do it, so he falls back into line. We've had a lot of great action, but out in front, Carl Edwards has now led 80 of the 145 laps that we have completed. There is your top 5 at the Ford 300, and yes, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has clinched the championship. Here at Homestead Miami Speedway, the 66 of Stephen Wallace has brought out our 6th caution, a right rear tire, and everybody is coming with 54 laps to go. Vince.
Trevor Bayne is in. He wants the track bar back up from that last position. They also just gave him fuel, no tires. Jamie?
And Denny Hamlin, the 18, good on entry, too tight on exit. Fuel only, wedge out of the left rear. Dave?
No chassis changes on that 6 car. They'll save their tires too. Just fuel. Doc?
Same way with the 60. 1 round down on the track bar, save the tires, top it off in fuel. They're good on gas, but saving those tires for possibly another late stop.
So the race off pit road, you see absolutely no one took tires. Logano picks up 3. Trevor Bayne loses 3. And Brad Keselowski comes out ahead of Carl Edwards. The 33 and the 62 decided to stay out. Now let's go back and show you what happened to the 66. Stephen was running 34th, 7 laps down. It's been a long night.
Got a lot of damage to the right side of the car, right rear quarter panel. Like he may have cut a right rear tire down.
So did not hit the wall, but as we noticed, flattened the tire and tore up some more of that fender on the right rear. There you saw it pop. As we go on board, we head to break. Joe Nemechek will get the lucky dog. Well, back here at Homestead Miami Speedway with 52 laps to go. 2 cars stayed out, Clint Boyer and Michael Annett. They've got about 12 and 14 laps in hand over everybody else as they stopped earlier. Let's check in on our in-race reporter, and that is that man right there, our new champion. Let's talk to him, DJ.
Hey, Ricky, Dale Jarrett, ESPN. You have a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you, Dale.
All right, didn't mean to interrupt you getting a drink there, but let us be one of the first to congratulate you on being the 2011 Nationwide Series champion.
Thank you. That's pretty cool. That sounds great. We worked really hard all year. It's a big team effort. Definitely couldn't do it without my guys.
Hey, it looks like that this racetrack is living up to its name pretty slick right here, right now, huh?
Yes, sir. I mean, it'll slide the rear end on entry, get a little tight in the center sometimes, free up a little bit off. You can almost make this car do whatever it wants to do. I just got to find that balance of the right throttle and right steering, and it comes alive there. So it's pretty critical right now on the driving.
Okay, buddy. Good luck, and again, congratulations.
Thank you.
So there's your champion, and his first chance to actually talk about it. Now a refocus on trying to figure out how to win this race. He's going to restart in the 6th spot. We talked about Clint Boyer. He last pitted on lap 133. Michael Annett pitted on 135, and everybody else came in on lap 147. We've talked to the championship driver. Let's talk to the man who has won as a crew chief. How about it, Dave Burns?
Well, and that is Mike Kelly. And of course, we talked about the fact that we could see and count black boxes there, but you were waiting for the official word from NASCAR, weren't you?
Yeah, we were. We thought early in the race it was done, but we just really got to make sure that it is. I can't say how proud I am for Ricky and this entire team here. You know, they fought hard all year long. Got the greatest group of guys here. Got the greatest group of guys back at the shop. A lot of guys behind the scenes that don't get credit enough for what we do and get to do every weekend. I got to thank Robbie Reiser, Ford, Doug Yates, all the people at home, all the wives and girlfriends and parents that allow us to get to do what we want to do.
He's showing a little bit of his old self there with the bounce off the wall, but you expect him to be aggressive now, don't you?
I do. Ricky Stenhouse, an aggressive driver, and it takes a lot to work and keep him digging, and it's going to be fun and exciting these last 50 laps.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
We are at the 3/4 mark, 50 laps to go, and as we mentioned, Clint Boyer is the race leader right now. And let's get an update on his situation. How about it, Doc?
Chris Carrier, the crew chief, made the call to keep him on the racetrack. He said, you know, I didn't come here to run 5th. I came here to win this race. None of us have jobs after today, apparently. He said, so we're going to all go out a winner. We're about 6 laps short on fuel, but I said, you know what, Clint? I'm going to leave you on the racetrack. You've not had track position all day. I'm going to give it to you. You hang on, buddy. You drive. You stay up there. We get a yellow. We make our pit stop. We'll win this thing. Right now, we're rolling the dice to give you that victory, guys.
And of course, Kevin Harvick Incorporated being absorbed by Richard Childress Racing after this race officially. There's that 33 car along with the 2 car. Now Elliot Sadler will be back. The 33 car will be back with a variety of drivers. As we get ready, let's reset it for you because it'll be Boyer and Annett up front in row number 1. Then in row number 2, it is Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards. In row number 3, you've got Denny Hamlin and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And the lineup is not good. As you see, row number 4 with Hornish and Logano side by side. They're going to take on one more lap here under caution as the lights have come back on. Well, we've got an opportunity. Let's talk about what's going to happen tomorrow. I think it's a pretty big day here at Homestead, Miami.
Yes, it is.
You don't want to miss it. The Ford 400. Carl Edwards has won 2 of the last 3 Homestead Miami races. I wonder if is Smoke going to give us another text because I just said that. He's been watching, Smoke. We're not going to cut you short here, although Smoke's going to start 15th. Carl is going to start on pole. You don't want to miss this. It's going to start at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup concludes with the Ford 400 here at Homestead Miami Speedway. And only driver to sweep the Nationwide and Sprint Cup races at Homestead Miami. You're looking at him, Carl Edwards, back in 2008 as he managed to do it.
That may be what it takes tomorrow to win the championship. Keep Tony Stewart from winning it, but whichever way we get, whichever champion we get, it's going to be great for NASCAR.
There is the 99 back in the garage getting ready for tomorrow. Let's listen in on the 33 radio of Clint Boyer.
It's up to you here. You're probably at that point where you can just set sail on the pop and roll here. And that outside, I mean, just the rubber, the ash that's down on the ground, it doesn't go for a while.
So Clint Boyer letting them know what the rubber's like up on that high side. And now we're down to 49 laps. And we said our window is between 50 and 55. So everybody that did stop would be able to go the distance. Big question would be, can these two who did not, they stopped back at lap 133 and 135 respectively for Boyer and Annett, could they go the distance?
Probably not without saving some, but why not roll the dice? I don't blame Chris Carrier for doing that in this situation.
Well, we're going to find out. Boyer takes the high side and the green flag is in the air. Michael Annett gets a good restart, but here comes Boyer on the outside. Way up high. That is Elliot Sadler. They're going to make it 3 wide coming out of 2. Boyer takes the race lead into 3 with Edwards right behind him. And look at that 6 car. The new champion running in 3rd, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., now up into 2nd. Brad Keselowski fourth, then side by side the 18 of Denny Hamlin and Michael Annett, who is falling back. Here comes Sam Hornish up on the 62.
You can see Trevor Bayne caught back in this also, lost a couple of spots.
Here comes,
they got fuel last time.
And Carl Edwards, as you were pointing out what was happening back a little farther, Carl tried to slide up again, can't make it work. Here comes Keselowski. So instead of getting second, he may lose third.
That's what happens. You just lose that little bit of momentum. You can't get back to the throttle quite as hard as you want to. Stenhouse going to see if he can get on the top side of Boyer now.
Great view, shows you just how many different race lines you can select here at Homestead Miami Speedway. And here comes Stenhouse now taking a peek down on the low side.
Yeah, we're going to look at a slide job right here, I believe.
His old Sprint Cup days, as he was talking on the radio during the break.
I'm going to make that work. That was good.
Team liked it. So did Ricky.
New leader, the 6. Nice and smooth here. You're driving away. Good work.
So Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is the race leader with Clint Boyer, Brad Keselowski, Carl Edwards, and Denny Hamlin right behind Edwards in that 5th spot. Remember that owner's championship. Oh, so important. Edwards would have it right now based on where they're running.
Doesn't look like Ricky Stenhouse hurt that car any when he rubbed the wall earlier.
Saw his dad on the right side. They're waiting to celebrate at the end of this race. Could he pull off his 3rd win of the year? Here we go side by side. This is the owner's championship. The 18 of Denny Hamlin has to get in front of Carl Edwards as they're side by side because Carl owns the tiebreaker. They came into this race just 1 point apart.
And Carl right now also has that extra point for leading the most laps at this point.
As they come down in the corner just in front of that group, there's Brad Keselowski trying to move on that low line underneath the 33, and he's going to be able to clear him this time. So Keselowski, who has run oh so well on the 1.5 miles and really has had a streak of 1-2 finishes to be envious as we go back a little farther. And as Justin Allgaier in 8th, as he's trying to get around 7th place, Sam Hornish Jr.
And Justin Allgaier's been solid today. I'm sure that he would rather be up right inside the top 5, but he's working his way towards that now.
And Michael Annett has settled down after, remember, he restarted on the outside of the front row. He is right there in the 62. He is running in that 6th position. Let's get an update on that 31 of Justin Allgaier. How about it, Dave Burns?
Well, the balance is pretty good, but the tires are better. They took 4 tires on that last stop. They used up their final set. He gained all these spots at the restart, but if there's a late caution, he won't have anything fresh to put on, anything in the form of a sticker tire or something like that.
Well, the one thing we've noticed this year, Dave, is that the late race stretches have been averaging a lot more green flag laps than they have caution flags.
And that was the gamble that Jimmy Ellis took, the crew chief, on the 31. He's just thinking, okay, if it's going to go green all the way, I would rather have my freshest tires on the race car rather than sitting on the pit wall, ready to go on when the race is checkered flag.
So Allgaier still running in that 8th spot. Man up front is your new Nationwide Series champion, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's got 2 wins in his hip pocket. Does he pick up number 3 tonight? Join Goodyear in NASCAR in saluting America's armed forces and give back by helping support our troops. Visit Goodyear.com/support our troops to learn more. It's Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Well, back here at Homestead Miami Speedway, we have 36 laps to go. That was a glimpse of the 33 of Clint Boyer and Carl Edwards. That's 2nd and 3rd, and you're asking who's out in front? Well, how about our new champion, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And since this restart, guys, he has opened up a 2-second lead.
Doesn't seem to want to share victory lane any of the celebrations tonight, does it?
Doesn't want to share it with anyone. And the battle for 2nd as Carl Edwards is trying to get around the 33, but Clint comes right back on him.
That's got to be frustrating, Dave, when you get just about clear and even clear and just won't quite make it.
Yeah, and because these are 2 really good drivers, and Carl uses a lot of etiquette there too. You could slide up there and then you might take a chance that the guy's going to run into you. You have to really give yourself 2 or 3 car lengths before you want to make that move and just slide, unless it's the last lap. Carl may take that opportunity here right now because he's got a little more space.
Right side of your screen, as the battle is for position with the 31 of Justin Allgaier and Trevor Bayne in the 16. That is for 7th position on the racetrack. And you're right, DJ, Carl has cleared Clint. So now it is Stenhouse and Edwards running 1-2. Remember, at one point, Roush Fenway had the top 3 spots, but Trevor Bayne is back in the 8th spot. Let's get an update from pit road. How about it, Vince?
Well, Trevor Bayne has consistently had a fast race car. The balance has been good. The changes have been minor. Just negotiating traffic and getting that clean air. You know, it's been a big feather in the cap of this Roush Fenway trip that not only has Stenhouse and Edwards been to victory lane this season, but so has Trevor Bayne. Compliment to the entire Roush Fenway team, not just those guys on the road, but those at the shop too, that prepare these cars each and every week. It's been a real good year on the Nationwide side for these guys.
It certainly has. You can see Trevor still rim riding here on this 1.5 mile at Miami Homestead Speedway. He gets the high side line, and then there's Allgaier doing everything he can. Whoa, and he may have gotten too high.
I think he did. I think he got up in that sand a little bit, maybe brushed the wall.
Gathered it back up.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit, a few feet too far driving into the corner. That's exactly what can happen.
Don't see a lot of damage back there, but let's go back and take another look at it.
Completely different line there.
I think it's similar to what Stenhouse did. He just got up there just a little bit too high. See, just rubs that wall. Didn't seem to hurt Stenhouse car when he did it.
Well, you can see all the black tire marks along the entire perimeter of that wall. It's been hit a few times by a number of cars. As right now we've got 31 laps remaining, 8 different leaders, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., his lead is now 2.6 seconds over his teammate Carl Edwards. Back here at Homestead Miami Speedway, Trevor Bayne has gotten into the wall again. This time it's a lot more severe. He's brought out our 7th caution.
Yeah, I think possibly could have come from when he got in the wall before, but it looked like he cut a right rear tire down up in 3 and 4.
There he is right there.
He either cut a tire and got back into the wall, or for sure cut it down after he hit the wall this time.
Then he was trying to nurse it back around and almost spun it out.
Yeah, I was afraid he was going to go back into traffic right there. And he's just fighting it.
Let's go on board with Trevor, and he's got his hands full here.
Right side. Talking about a little debris here. Easy, easy, easy. There you go. Easy, easy. Caution, 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 caution. Easy. Just take care of it here. Caution's out. Caution.
I think that steering wheel turned about a dozen different directions.
Yeah. Get it on the pit road though without hitting anything else.
Okay, so
we need to flatten that quarter panel out on the right side, Cody. We need to get it flat if we can.
And that's what they're talking about right there, that right rear quarter panel. It's acting more like an air dam the way it's shaped right now.
Yeah, but here come the leaders now down pit road.
So here come the race leaders with Jamie. I think we're going to send it to you first.
That's right, the Owners' Championship battle alive and well. Denny Hamlin in the 18, 4 points back to the 60 right now. He said, tighten me up. Down 1 round on the track bar, 4 tires. They have been flawless on pit road. Dave?
Here's your champion. Here's your leader, lower left. He comes in. He wants an air pressure adjustment. The car is just a tick tight at the end of that run. 4 fresh tires. Doc.
Big break for Clint Boyer. He was 6 laps short on fuel. 4 tires. Air pressure going to free him up a little bit this final run. Carl Edwards down below. 2 rounds in the left rear. A little bit free. 4 tires. Final stop. He should be away. Lengthy stop over 15 seconds for Carl Edwards, though.
And it's going to cost him a 2-tire stop for David Stremme, and we only have 24 laps to go, and you're smiling, Andy.
Well, I don't think it's going to pay off for Stremme, but he does get the lead. He's had a great run so far tonight.
Yeah, he came in 9th position. The big loser, as you heard Dave talk about, Carl Edwards, he drops 4 spots. But there is David Stremme. Back here at Homestead Miami Speedway, as we have 22 laps to go, we are under our 7th caution, and a tough pit stop for the 60 crew of Carl Edwards has put him back out on this racetrack in the 6th position. We'll show you exactly what happened, and watch the right front tire.
See the right front tire changer struggles just a little bit. He's slow as they come off, and he has a little hiccup here on getting all the lug nuts tight. This is the money stop. This is when everybody's supposed to be doing their best, and all the other teams are probably going to make their best stop here. Can't afford to give that up.
And in the Owners' Championship, it means that the 18 is now finally in front of him and has a 2-point lead. And there is the pit stop comparison as he loses those 4 valuable spots.
Yeah, at the wrong time, too.
Jamie, what are you hearing on that 18 car of Denny Hamlin's?
Well, it's certainly a team effort, but I had mentioned the rear tire changer, and that is Jake Seminary. He's standing on the wall now. This entire team pits the 18 of Kyle Busch in the Cup Series, but they just had a pit stop with the track bar adjustment. There's Jake on the left-hand side. That was 12.2 seconds. That's almost unheard of in the Nationwide Series. They gained their driver 3 positions, and now there's just 2 points separating them for the Owners' Championship.
Now, Edwards has clinched the most laps led for the 13th time this year. Hamlin's going to restart 3rd. Edwards is going to restart 6th. James Buescher gets the lucky dog. Up front, David Stremme with those 2 tires. He's on the outside with Stenhouse underneath him. Here we go, and Stenhouse spins the tires a little.
And Denny Hamlin looking to get more right here.
Here comes Keselowski underneath Stremme.
Carl Edwards going hard on the outside.
And Stenhouse is going to have to fall in behind Carl.
Carl wasn't joking.
Look at this move. Look at Edwards. Woo, had a big run.
This team Owners Championship, oh so important. And look at Edwards. He goes by him like he's standing still.
He had a big run off turn 2, and it looked like he was going to get stuck behind David Stremme, and he just made that big crossover move to the inside.
So that quickly changes the complexion of that Owners Championship. It puts it back in the camp of the 60 for Roush Fenway Racing. Stremme side by side with Denny Hamlin. And there is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. getting a little loose as he's got Clint Boyer coming up underneath him.
Yeah, Stenhouse had a comfortable lead until that last caution that was brought out by his teammate. Now he's stuck in traffic.
Boyer going down low. The 2-tire strategy is not working for Stremme.
Yeah, it's a shame. They've had a great run, as Andy pointed out. All night was running inside the top 10 until that caution came out.
Came in 9th, came back out with the lead thanks to the 2-tire stop, but right now he's got his hands full with the 2 of Elliot Sadler. Sadler has been penalized twice in this race tonight, and he's now fighting it out for 6th position.
Yeah, we're getting down to it. It looks like Carl Edwards' car is just as good as it's been all night.
So there is Sadler. His only goal is to win this race. Problem is we got a spin, as that is the 82 of Reed Sorensen. As he has turned it around.
Still green.
Still green.
Still green.
See if he can get it refired. And now the caution comes out. So when Reed stalled it and could not get it refired and everybody was starting to come around again, NASCAR throws the caution for the 8th time. And it gives us a chance to talk about Reed Sorensen.
Got a flat, got to come in this time. Don't think I can make it back around.
Let's go back and show you what happened.
Yeah, that has all the makings of right rear tire going flat there in the center of the corner.
Yeah, it looked like it was low. He was struggling trying to save it. He's got damage on that right side.
He was 23rd, 1 lap down. Remember when he was 3rd in the championship hunt and was unceremoniously discharged from Turner Motorsports? Hooked on with this 82 team and finished out the year.
He's hanging on to the top 5 position in points.
And he will keep that number 5 position no matter what happens tonight. He's got about a 35-point margin over Jason Leffler. So with only 17 laps to go, it is Brad Keselowski out in front with an old nemesis in Carl Edwards and our new champion rounding out your top 3. For Ricky Stenhouse, remember last year, 18th or worse in 11 of his first 12 starts. DNQ'd in race number 13. He was benched and basically almost out of a ride. And then all of a sudden this year, a new man, as he has rebounded with his 2 wins at Iowa, even with an assist from Carl Edwards, and now finds himself coming to Homestead Miami Speedway before the start of the race. Had to finish 37th or better. And early in the event, enough cars had fallen out that he clinches his first NASCAR Nationwide Series championship. And there you see the 3rd driver to win the Nationwide Series championship 1 season after winning Rookie of the Year honors. Now it's his first championship, but Dave, if my records are right, it's also the first championship for his crew chief.
Marty, on May 22nd, Ricky won his very first nationwide race. Mike Kelly told me they had their weekly meeting at Roush Fenway, as usual, Tuesday morning at 6:30 a.m. General Manager Robbie Reiser put Ricky's Iowa trophy in the middle of the room and reminded everybody, 1 year ago today, Ricky Stenhouse showed up to this meeting with his safety goggles on because he was ready to work on race cars he had previously wrecked. Look where he is now. Mike said, then I heard the loudest applause I've ever heard at that meeting, and I'm getting goosebumps telling you about it right now. Something tells me, Marty, there's going to be more goosebumps before the night's over.
Well, and this last caution gives his teammate, Trevor Bayne, a chance to get the lucky dog, get back on the lead lap, so he will restart in the 23rd position. Total of 10 cars are officially out of this race. Let's reset it for you because Brad Keselowski will be on point with Carl Edwards right alongside, and Keselowski has selected the inside line. Stenhouse is 3rd, Hamlin 4th. Remember, the team owners championship right now in the hands of the 60 by 3 points because Carl has clinched the most laps led. They come down the front straightaway. When they go by the stripe, it'll be 14 laps to go. And Keselowski slowed up a bit, but looks like he's still got to cross the line first.
Yeah, he's playing a little bit of game right there. I don't think he's going to get much assist from that 6 car, though.
Carl Edwards played it well, too, though. He was ready for that.
Elliot Sadler on the high side, and notice the sportsmanship from Denny Hamlin. He was right behind Edwards, did not plow right through him. And now comes
try
Hamlin.
to take the lead.
He's gone. We go 3 wide for a moment, but boy, Keselowski says we'll shorten that distance up.
Ooh,
oh, this gets tight.
Oh, that was close right there.
Were you talking about from 1st to 2nd or 2nd to 3rd?
Yeah, both.
Look at Sadler. Remember, this guy's had 2 penalties tonight. He is on the back bumper of the 60. Now slides up the track right in front of the 18 of Hamlin. Then he comes right back on the crossover move. Down that back straightaway, heading for turn number 3. Carl Edwards is out in front. And we're hearing that Danica Patrick has brushed the wall. Yes, she has. She has damage to the right front. She has been running in the top 15 all night long, but she'll have to come down pit road now with that damage. Another trouble right here on the front straightaway is Kenny Wallace, who's had a great year, is not going to end it on the note that he wanted as our 10th caution comes out.
We can tee it up again, but we have some great racing going on right now.
Yeah, Kenny is 15th at the point of this crash. There you see Danica. She's got some heavy damage on the front right.
You guys just get tires on it really quick.
You heard him get the tires on quick so they can get her back out. She is on the lead lap. Here's what happened.
See, he's trying to make that wide arc, but the car just a little too loose to make that happen.
Yeah, that's more than just slight contact right there. She's got some bent parts.
Yeah. And let's check in on what happened to Kenny Wallace. Yeah, he's up against the wall and then gets a little push.
And it was actually Strimmy that got up against the wall, and I think he just slowed up in front of Kenny.
You're right. You're right, Andy.
You just know where to go. I mean, it just everybody stacked up behind Strimmy.
The proverbial chain reaction, and unfortunately for Kenny, he's the guy who bears the brunt of it. And a tough way to finish the season for the 09. Kenny's best finish back at Richmond in the fall race in September. He came home in 5th. His team has done a really good, strong job. I tell you, as he climbs out, and listen to the fans, he is a fan favorite. Looks over the damage. We can't tell you Jeremy Clements is going to get the lucky dog. That'll give us 23 cars back on the lead lap. And Kenny, as he makes his way towards the ambulance, salutes the crowd as they salute him here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Just going to click a few laps off getting this mess cleaned up too.
And what it means is we're going to have a good old-fashioned shootout with a championship at stake for the owner's title, with Carl Edwards in the catbird seat right now leading this race. Denny Hamlin running in 5th. All right, so let's get the strategy here. Dr. Jerry Punch, what are you hearing down there?
Thank you, Marty. Let's find out what Mike Beam has told his driver. Mike, 10 laps to go, and you've told Carl, you want to hang on and win a race, but more importantly, win that championship. Are you confident he's got enough to do both?
Well, I think so. You know, the main thing is we had to get in front of that 22 car, I believe, to lead at least another lap or two where we can be guaranteed the most lap, get that point. You know, so it's just it's a great race. You know, whatever happens. You know, everyone's done a great job. Carl, he's done a great job. You know, and he's really enjoyed this tonight, I believe, just because it's just so hard to get him tuned up for tomorrow night. You know, so I feel like that we can do this. You know, but the main thing is, like I said, we need to finish in front of the 18. But you know, you got Brad. You know, he's such a good racer, and Elliot and Clint, and I mean, so it's just going to be good. I mean, it's just fun. I mean, good fun, man. That's all. It's all. You know, it's racing, and that's what we're here to do. We've done about everything we could. You know, lead the most laps, and you know, so it's like if the good Lord's going to shine down on us, this will be good. But you know, it's been a great year.
And what better way to possibly get ready for tomorrow than to win tonight? How about it, Jamie?
Absolutely. Well, that owner's points battle, these guys are trying to beat the 60. 8 points separates you in that owner's points, and you guys were within 2 points after that last pit stop. Is the car loose enough, or I guess he's saying it's too tight to get to the front?
Well, we've been fighting free car all night, and the last stop there, we just took a big swing at it. And we've been about a 5th place car all night, and we knew that our only opportunity to win this championship was going to be win the race. So that was the plan coming in, and we took a big swing at it. And now we've kind of jumped the fence a little bit and got too tight. So Denny's doing a nice job. I'm proud of this team. They've done a good job on pit road tonight all season. Just to have an opportunity to come into the last race and battle, you know, Carl and that 60 team for a championship is a blessing in itself. So we're going to hang in there. We got a few laps left. We'll see what Denny Hamlin's got. We haven't given him the car he needs tonight, but he's done a nice job with it.
6 different drivers in this car this season. Kyle Busch, 8 wins. Right now, Denny Hamlin is 5th.
And just 7 races ago, that team led by 47 points. And right now, they're trailing. Let's talk to our in-race reporter, our new champion, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., DJ.
Hey, Ricky, Dale Jarrett, you got us?
Yes, sir, Dale, I got you.
All right, champ. Well, you've got that one title out of the way here. I know you want to win this race and kind of hog victory lane there. That would be nice. Do you have the car on a short run here to get that done?
Man, I think so. I think we got a really good Blackwell Angus beef Cargill Mustang. We've worked really hard on it, scraped the wall a couple times, but you know, I think that's just built-in speed there. So see if we get a good restart on the outside. I got a good restart that last time. They just sucked down on us, got us loose, but we're in the prime spot. Need to be on the outside here.
Hey, we're holding our breath up here watching you guys battle. Is it that exciting sitting where you are?
Man, it's real exciting. I tell you what, coming off a 4 when I was sideways in front of the 18, that was about all she had. But thanks for all the fans watching out there. We really appreciate it.
All right, man. One to go. Good luck.
Well, and here's an interesting note, because if he were able to pull this off, he would join some elite company. Take a look at this. Kyle Busch, Sam Ard, the only drivers to win the final race and the championship at the same season. That's a pretty exclusive club.
Yeah, it's hard to do, too, because you got so much on the line with the championship. And trying to win a race, too, it's tough to do.
All right, let's reset it for you, because a lot's at stake here. We already documented what's going on with the Owners' Championship. Carl Edwards is going to be up front. He's right now on the inside with Brad Keselowski alongside. Then Elliot Sadler, despite 2 penalties tonight, is going to restart 3rd. Clint Boyer 4th. There you see the owner points as they stand right now, because Denny Hamlin is 5th with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. alongside. Then Sam Hornish Jr. with another strong run. Brian Scott, Eric Almirola, and Joey Logano rounding out your top 10. All right, who are you picking in this shootout here, fellas?
I like Carl Edwards. I'm not sure I would have given Carl Edwards the inside in what I've been able to see. Plus, Elliot Sadler's been really good on these restarts. I think he can help Carl Edwards with a little bit of a push.
Yeah, I like Carl, too. I don't think there's anybody that's shown me they can beat him in a short run.
We go back to green flag racing. There will be 7 laps remaining on this 1.5 mile. Progressive banking from 18 to 20 degrees. Homestead Miami Speedway. Pace truck is pulled down. Green flag's in the air, and boy, Carl is on the hammer. Keselowski going to try to take it away from him on the high side.
That Dodge horsepower we talked about earlier. It looks like he's going to clear Carl.
He does.
We'll get him back here.
That was Carl's radio. You can see Elliot Sadler. He's side by side with Boyer for 3rd. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 5th slot.
I think Brad had kind of expected Carl maybe to go to the inside. That's what we've been seeing Carl do there. He protected that, able to stay in front.
Now 6 laps remaining here at Homestead, Miami. Here comes Stenhouse. He gets around Boyer. He's now into the 4th spot.
Carl got a nice run off of turn 2 right there. Is able to close the gap a little.
So there is your top 2. They're trying to open up a little bit of ground over 3rd place Elliot Sadler. Stenhouse on the high side in 4th. This time by just 5 laps remaining in the 2011 season.
I said nobody's shown me they could beat Carl Edwards in a short run until right now.
Keselowski doing all he can to hold on to that spot. And remember, we talked about this earlier. Keselowski's had 7 top 2 finishes this year, including 4 in his last 6 starts. And here he is again. Here comes Stenhouse. He's looking for 3rd underneath the 2.
Yeah, he's made this move work quite a few times. Put a nice slide job. See if he can stay in the throttle and get back up there. But that's Dodge horsepower staying out front right now.
This time by 4 laps remaining. There's the gap between 1st through 5th. And here comes Boyer as he goes low underneath Elliot Sadler. That's for 4th. Boyer slides up in front of him. Carl is closing the gap up front on the race leader, Brad Keselowski.
That shot there gives you just an idea of how fast it is entering these corners. These drivers right on the edge, running right against the wall.
Now 3 laps to go here at Homestead, Miami. Keselowski's going to hug the low line. Carl's up top.
They might have enough for a run here.
Brad slides it up in front of him.
Problem is, what's he going to do with it? Can he pass him on the bottom?
It doesn't look like Ricky Stenhouse is going to have enough time to get back to these 2.
Only if these 2 get side by side could Ricky Stenhouse get an opportunity to get there.
2 laps left, 2.
You heard the call. Just 3 miles remain in the 2011 season. And these 2, how many times have we seen them on the 1.5 miles?
Oh, check it out. Really trying to loosen him up now. That allows Stenhouse to get there.
And Ricky's making a move. He's coming underneath Carl, and he's got him. Going down into 3, but now does he have enough time to get to the 22? He is carrying some mean momentum coming out of the corner. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go.
There's the white.
Through turns 1 and 2.
Oh, check this out. 3 wide.
And the 6 of Stenhouse rim riding. Here he is trying to close the gap down the backstretch.
He's got to do it on the top side, I believe.
Can the champion do it? He fakes to the inside. Keselowski goes low. Stenhouse is going to run it high. Here they come through 3 and 4. He's got the run in heading for the stripe. Who is going to win it? It's going to be Brad Keselowski as he takes the win from the pole. Our champion comes across 2nd. Carl Edwards locks up the owner's title by finishing in 3rd. And you guys talk because I need to catch my breath.
What a finish on the season for this series. That was an incredible finish.
I hope you saw the 22, the 6, and the 60 all sideways coming out of turn 4 trying to win this race.
What an effort. What an effort, champion. Good job, baby. Yeah!
Fireworks going off in the background. A championship to be celebrated for 24-year-old Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And a 17th career win for Brad Keselowski in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. What a way to finish 2011. "17 lead changes, 9 different leaders. And here comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. down the front straightaway. Carl's coming down to celebrate the Owners' Championship as they go nose to nose. And they're going to do...
Oh, check this. This is cool. Maybe a first right there.
Yeah.
I think they planned this.
Pretty cool.
That is.
And meanwhile, the top of your screen, I think Carl's getting the worst of it. All the smoke's going
He's downwind.
And congratulatory handshake. And meanwhile, Brad Keselowski is celebrating at the turn 4 end of the racetrack. As there you see him, the American flag, and boy, the fireworks. Just what a moment. What a great way to end the season. So Keselowski, who picks up his 5th win on a 1.5-mile track, and boy, that streak, now 5 out of his last 7 starts, he's been either first or second. All right, we're going to step aside for just a moment. Look at the smoke inside the cockpit of the 6, as there is your champion. And we'll talk to our new champion, our race winner, and probably quite a few others as the celebration has begun here at Homestead Miami Speedway as the season ends in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. And boy, if we have a race like this tomorrow night between that man in the 60 and the 14, Tony Stewart, it'll be a dandy. What a year for Roush Fenway Racing. Win the manufacturer's title for Ford, win a race for Trevor Bayne, win the championship with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and win the owner's title with the number 60 of Carl Edwards. They basically ran the table, got the goals that they set out from the very beginning of the season and into tonight. And that is back on the backstretch. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. waiting to be introduced to the crowd. First, let's go to Victory Lane with Dave Burns and celebrate with Brad Keselowski.
In one of these races where it was supposed to be all about the other guys, whether it was Owners' Championship or Drivers' Championship, you made it all about you, my friend. And how did you do that tonight?
Well, this Dodge has some power. I'm going to tell you what, and good drag, or little drag. But it was tough. You know, the Dodge motor is pretty powerful, but, you know, it's seen all year long where them Fords with the lightweight motor are just tough to beat. They handle so well, and right there at the end, we had the power to pull away at the restart, but not the handling to stay in front of them. So I was blocking as hard as I could to win that race. But, you know, great year for the Discount Tire Dodge Challenger, and the whole team get on the pole and win the race here today is a great way to finish the year. And just really happy for this whole program. And I want to say congratulations to Ricky. I know what it's like to be over there and be a champion, and that's an amazing feeling. So a great year and an awesome way to finish it for our team.
Go a little further into that final duel with Carl, because, I mean, it was tight, and you guys made a little contact.
Yeah, I don't think he was very happy with me for racing him really hard, but I'm not going to give up the win. I want that win.
He got it. 17th career win for Brad Keselowski, first here in the Nationwide Series at Homestead, Miami. Marty?
Well, that's why they call it racing. It's supposed to be hard, and Brad Keselowski is one of the hardest racers you will ever see. As they continue the celebration with Team Penske. For Roger Penske's team, his 23rd career win, 2nd win here at Homestead Miami Speedway. As the crew congratulates each other, and here comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's making his way down the back stretch, heading towards turn number 3, holding on to that champion's flag for number 6. And the man who, of course, won the owner's title for Roush Fenway Racing in the number 60 is with Jamie Little.
And he's racing like he had nothing to lose, but you did. The owner's title, but you got it done in the end. What a night. What a way to cap off your season. 8 wins this year. Take us through tonight, the 2 championships. You guys did your jobs.
Well, first, congratulations to Ricky. You know, all the Blackwell Angus beef folks. I mean, Ricky has come so far, and I think he's going to be a champion in a bunch of levels of this sport. So that was huge. And my guys have done a great job all year. 8 wins, and we're so proud to have Fastenal on board. Ford has been great. It's Ford Championship weekend, and we wrapped up the drivers and the owners tonight. That was huge. And Valvoline Next Gen, Wiley X, and all these fans that are here. This is cool. It did get pretty exciting there at the end. I kind of had to remember, hey, don't screw this up. And Brad started blocking a little bit. I thought, well, if he's going to block, I'm going to bump him. And then I bumped him. It helped him and it hurt me. I didn't do a good job of that. But he did a great job racing. I thought everybody raced as aggressively as I've seen in a long time, and everybody was real respectful. It was really fun.
Perhaps a preview of what's to come tomorrow. Carl Edwards going for his first Sprint Cup Series championship.
All right, thank you, Jamie. And you saw the action there on the track that Carl was describing. Here are the final results. You see the top 10, and we already know about the top 3. There's Boyer and Hamlin. Tough break for the 18 crew. That streak of 3 in a row for the Owners' Championship has been snapped. Elliot Sadler, despite 2 penalties, finishes 6th. Another good run for Sam Hornish Jr. Eric Almirola with another top 10 run with Brian Scott out likewise, and Joey Logano rounding out the top 10. Let's check in now with Vince.
With Clint Boyer finishes 4th tonight, certainly not the way he wanted to finish in his final ride in the 33, but how was it this evening in this car?
You know, it wasn't bad. It was a good ending to the race. Our Ream Chevrolet was just, we couldn't, we struggled to turn, you know, it was tight. You can make the rear end loose and slide out from underneath of it, but you never could make the front end turn good enough to run with those first 2 or 3 cars. I thought they were going to get in each other and give us a shot out there at the end, but you know, it is bittersweet inning. Kevin's done a great job, you know, with this program, giving me the opportunities over the years, you know, as we've been teammates to jump on board and run and have some fun every now and then. And, you know, all good things must come to an end, and, you know, this is certainly a good thing.
Yeah, thanks, Clint. 4th place for Clint Boyer tonight. Marty?
All right, thank you, Vince. As a little resignation and a little disappointment, as you might expect, but as Kevin Harvick said, he is excited about what is in the future for his former team, which will now roll into Richard Childress Racing.
Ricky Stenhouse sitting in the car. And ladies and gentlemen, he began his career at age of 3 on a bicycle, winning bicycle races. The age of 4 motorcycles. He said he got his big break when Tony Stewart put him on an asphalt sprint car. But in 2008, Jack Roush hired him to drive a stock car. And today, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, your 2011 NASCAR Nationwide Series champion, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Mike Kelly, the crew chief, giving him a high five from above. And Ricky, congratulations on an incredible year. But before we talk about the championship, let's talk about those last 2 or 3 laps. Looked like you were going to try to bounce it off the wall to win this race and a championship in the final event of the season.
Man, we sure tried. That was all I had, man. I was really hoping for one more lap there, but Brad did a good job. It was fun racing Carl and those guys. Got a little loose there coming off before, or I thought we could have got him, but this Black Angus Beef and Cargill Mustang did its job for championship weekend, and Nationwide Insurance. This is a dream come true.
What a Cinderella story. 17 months ago, you were on the edge of unemployment, and Jack Roush stuck with you. You said you even doubted yourself at times, and today you're about to be crowned NASCAR's newest champion. What made it happen for you?
Well, I think first off is just relying on God. I mean, we were down in the dumps, and we relied on him, pulled us through, and that's why we got to give him the praise for the nights that we're up on top. And it's just a lot of hard work by all these guys. Jack Roush, Ford Racing, everybody at Black Angus Beef and Cargill. This crew right here, I mean, they didn't give up on me. They were with us through all last year, and just glad to be here.
You told me this morning, growing up, you had 2 heroes in racing. One was an open-wheel driver who went to NASCAR and won 4 championships, Jeff Gordon. The other one was your dad, who drove a sprint car for 22 years and wanted you to follow in his footsteps. Today, what does this day mean to you and your dad and the Stenhouse family?
It means a lot. My family sacrificed everything they had. You know, my sister didn't quite get everything that she's ever wanted. We were racing as much as we could. And to do that for them, he taught me hard work and to never give up. And, man, wish my granddad was here. He helped us out a lot through the go-kart days, worked on our cars, and had a lot of fun doing that. So wish he was here, but this is an awesome night.
Ricky, the celebration just beginning. We're going to go up on the stage and produce some trophy presentations, but what a special night. Again, congratulations, 2011 NASCAR Nationwide Series champion. Marty?
All right, thank you, Doc. And as they make their way up towards the podium, and you could hear the emotion in his voice when he was talking about his granddad. A special moment for the entire Stenhouse family.
Yeah, and just he said, you know, as a driver and a champion, it's amazing how many things you remember and the people that have really sacrificed a lot. And Ricky Stenhouse doing a good job of remembering all that. But what a great championship run he's made this year.
Let's show you the final championship point standings, because the margin a lot larger than it really turned out to be throughout the course of the season. 45 over Elliot Sadler. And then Justin Allgaier finishes third, Eric Almirola fourth, Reed Sorensen rounds out the top 5. Then it's Jason Leffler, Kenny Wallace, Brian Scott gets ahead of Michael Annett for 8th. Stephen Wallace rounds out the top 10. And let's give a tip of the hat to the Rookie of the Year. It's a complex system, the best 16 races, and a vote of both media, NASCAR, and the winner is, I'm going to allow Vince Welch to tell us. How about it, Vince?
Well, a year ago it was Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and now he's celebrating the NASCAR Nationwide Series Championship. This year it's 18-year-old Timmy Hill, the Nationwide Series Rookie of the Year. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. First off, I got to thank all these guys behind me here. Greg Cooper guys that got me here. I got to thank everybody from Point.com for coming on board, everybody from Lily Trucking. Ford did a great job getting the Manufacturers Championship, and it's just a great weekend for us to do it. It came down to 1 point. I mean, it couldn't be more exciting than that. I don't know, man. I just can't express the feelings right now. I got the point finger going on here, but it's just a great day.
How does it, when you look at winning the Rookie of the Year championship and then you see what Ricky Stenhouse did 1 year later from winning the title?
You know, it makes you really want to live up to being the next champion. You know, Ricky Stenhouse was the last Rookie of the Year, and it shows that he can turn around next season and do that. I mean, that's what I want to live up to. Ricky's a good guy to live up to. It shows that one day I could be the next champion. So once again, thanks to all these guys right here. They all deserve it.
He's the Rookie of the Year, Timmy Hill, 18 years old. Jamie?
Well, Denny Hamlin brings it home 5th tonight after finding out you were going to be in this car just a week and a half ago. I know it was a team effort that got you here, Denny, but just came up a little bit short.
Yeah, definitely. You know, wish we had some more practice time. We were banking on that second practice and just didn't get enough track time with this car this weekend, and we struggled. We struggled all day and just could not get the speed out of it that we needed. And, you know, we ended up 5th.
All right, Denny Hamlin turned 31 yesterday.
And Jamie Elliot Sadler, who was the championship contender right down to the end, finishes 6th today, just catching up with Ernie Cope, the crew chief, working out the day. But car was fast, but those penalties, man, what happened tonight?
We were just talking about that when we were talking about where we were on pit road. We forgot about the end box. We were talking about we could just leave out our pit road and haul butt to the end. So that, you know, lug nut one time and then me speeding on penalty, and I shouldn't do that, man. I've been racing long enough to know you shouldn't do that. It was just a misunderstanding on the pit line, but proud of my guys. They didn't give up. We kept battling and working on it, and it was my fault. I got the car a little bit too tight there at the end, but, you know, Ernie and I were just talking about next year, 1.5 mile tracks, you know, beginning of the season, where we think we are, where we need to improve on, what we need to do. But we've been very happy with our race team here the last couple of weeks, and I can't thank everybody enough, from Delana and Kevin, everybody at KHI, and everybody at One Main Financial for giving me this opportunity. I had a lot of fun this year with this race team, and we'll go back to the drawing board, work a little harder, and get ready for him for Daytona.
He should be exciting again next year. I don't know if he wants us to pick him again next year like the favorite. He'll say pick us. Okay, pick the 2 car again next year, guys.
All right, thank you, Vince. And I want to remind you, if you're looking for Virginia versus number 25 Florida State, we're running a little long here because of the championship celebration. That game has started over on ESPN News, so go to ESPN News if you want to catch up on that. All right, let's go to the podium for the official presentation. Doc, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Marty. The formal celebration, and now to offer his congratulations, please welcome the president of NASCAR, Mike Helton. Mike.
Thank you, Doc. Ricky, on behalf of everybody at NASCAR and all the fans out there, you're exactly what this sport needs. We're looking forward to your advanced career in this sport, but this year it is a whole different story than this time last year. Congratulations to you. You're a great character, you're a great driver, you're a great story, and we're proud to have you our champion.
And now for the trophy presentation, please welcome from Nationwide, Jim McCoy. And then, Jim, I know this is a special moment for you.
Yeah, it's been an amazing season, Ricky. On behalf of our Nationwide Insurance agents and associates from across the country, I want to congratulate you, crew chief Mike Kelly, Jack, and the entire number 6 team on your first NASCAR Nationwide Series championship. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And here is the trophy. Ricky Stenhouse hoist that trophy high. Mike Kelly, get in here. Crew chief, championship crew chief, you guys hold it up. What an incredible performance. Championship driver and crew chief for 2011. And now to present the championship car owner trophy, once again, Mike Helton, president of NASCAR.
Jack, guys like Ricky can't get a career, can't get a start, can't get a lot of things done without a great car owner. And I know this one came via another car, but it's poetic that it ended up that you're the car champion this year. We're proud of your organization, the way you run it, the way you manage it, and the way you make NASCAR look good by all you do. Thank you very much.
Jack, what a weekend for your team thus far here. Ford Championship weekend, a Ford Owners title and a Ford Drivers title here for Roush Fenway Racing.
I'm proud to be here with Edsel Ford and all the Ford Motor Company management that's on the scene. You know, we've had a great year. We've got a little more work to do tomorrow night. We've had a great year with Ricky. I've enjoyed his family and understanding where he's come from. It's no wonder that he's the champion that he is, based on the family that brought him here.
A year ago, people said you might turn this young man loose. You saw something and you said you were going to stick with him. What did you see that made you believe this night would be a possibility?
Well, you know, he just wanted it so bad, and he was so good at doing what he did. He couldn't figure out how big the box was he needed to be in. And his dad helped him figure out what the limits were on the box, and I did too, and as did Robbie Reiser. And over the winter, he got his mind right, and he was ready to come back and run for a championship.
Jack Roush, winning car owner for the 2011 NASCAR Nationwide Series, and Ricky Stenhouse, your 2011 NASCAR Nationwide Series champion. Marty?
All right. Thank you, Doc. Now, normally we give you the ticket to the race and so talk about all those events that are coming up. Well, guess what's coming up next for us? We'll join us when the season begins back in Daytona. And for tickets, just go to NASCAR.com/tickets, or you can call 1-866-GO-NASCAR. Quick final thoughts. Great season.
Well, this is such an exciting series with these young drivers, and Ricky Stenhouse is going to be a great champion, and what a finish for this race. It was so exciting.
Yeah, it's a great race, great champion, and Ricky Stenhouse. Look forward to next year.
All right, well, the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup concludes with the Ford 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway. Carl Edwards starts on pole. Tony Stewart starts 15th. Our coverage begins on ESPN. It's tomorrow at 2 Eastern. You don't want to miss this.